Microsoft advertising platform, Bing, made a huge announcement yesterday, but I really, really want to examine it very, very closely. Also, thank you, Nava, our amazing Microsoft Ads liaison, for bringing this to our attention. Here's the deal. When it comes to AI, it is not helping commerce in general. It is taking the middle of what you know about the funnel and collapsing it. Every single person I know is excited about Microsoft and what they announced yesterday. I myself am excited because I think it brings huge, huge business opportunities to someone like me who diagnoses what's going on within the advertising space. For someone like me who's trained and has a program that looks at how things are behaving, I think it's very, very amazing. But that said, moving ads into an AI experience isn't an upgrade. It is really what I would call a takeover of the decision layer, and it's going to make everything more expensive. If you're complaining about CPCs now, just you wait. Just you wait. I am telling you, this isn't going to be helpful in that circumstance. AI isn't just a place that's helping shoppers. It is really collapsing the website. And if you've been listening in the paid search industry, and I will say this, it's hard for me because I don't want to say things like Google quietly announced or Microsoft quietly announced or anything of that nature, because this hasn't been quiet. This has been out in the open. This has been blatant. This has been plans. I just don't know that there are many people online who've been reading the room, especially not in the way that I've been doing it. And again, I'm not doing this to be alarmist. I'm not doing this to be fear-mongering. I hate that. In what I'm calling season 2026 of this podcast and of this channel, I am deliberately making changes and shifts. So for example, I'm not going to be publishing as many of those pink thumbnails with the shocked face. And the reason I'm not doing that is because I don't actually think that that aligns with my brand in any way, shape, or form. My brand is diagnostic. My brand is protective. My brand is looking after the small business owner. And so if I'm leaning in to be like, oh my God, this changed mentality, which I will say I did just to sort of get that attention, I don't know that that is being true to myself. And I'm sorry, that was a complete sidebar, but I think it's really, really important context around like why I say what I say. Or it's just me justifying why I have like 10 views on every video. So AI, I'm telling you, is collapsing that transactional layer, and it is really making purchasing one single upstream moment. I think that is really important, especially if you're an advertiser, to know that. And really, whoever shows up in these spots is the one that's going to win. And everyone else who doesn't show up, they never even enter the conversation. And by the way, for the record, there is a site that anyone can test out. I have signed up for betas on all this. It's called Google Labs, and you can test some of the things that are coming down the pipeline. I think some of them, again, are really, really, really fascinating. Like there is a really cool tab experience where you can literally use Gemini in like a co-pilot sort of way to do a lot more planning. And again, I think these things are really, really cool, especially if you're looking at it from the outside in, if you're looking at it from a consumer and somebody who studies these things and somebody who looks at platform behavior and somebody who looks at the signals that we're feeding to these platforms and explains it and helps clients. I think these are really, really phenomenal. But if you're looking at this from a paid ads, like I am going to go play with your match types. I'm going to go sell you on what a good Google Ads structure looks like. I'm going to tell you to choose the best bidding strategy. Then you are probably SOL in this new environment. So when it comes to this collapsed funnel that we're talking about, that, again, Microsoft just put out there that Google is coming for as well, that collapses your funnel, that makes you the only option in the one conversation that's being had that is really a one-to-one relationship. AI assistants are the storefront. Your site is no longer the storefront. And again, I think one person who really talks about this in like amazing detail is Fred Valais over at Optimizer. He has really taken his full focus and looked at this, and he said, I believe the landing page is dead. I believe the website is dead. I believe that is going away. And he wasn't doing that in an alarmist way because he's not an alarmist. He lives out in Silicon Valley. He's talking to the people that matter. And he has talked about this. So again, I don't ever like that line of this is coming for you. It's already here. Like it is already here. Things aren't changing. They have changed. We're just seeing it manifest in a way that I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with. And so when you look at this experience in Copilot, the types of things that it's going to do is what is the best gift for my mom? What dress should I wear to a dinner party? What is the best option for my budget? And I, as a consumer, have been excited about this. Like, my dad is so hard to shop for. And I don't know if you guys realized or it kind of just happened slowly, but ChatGPT partnered with Etsy. And I tried this out when I read that news. And I said, what is the best gift for my dad, who's a runner, who likes yoga, and I gave his age, who has everything and doesn't really like anything. And it gave me this fantastic personalized coffee mug that he absolutely loves. So I do believe as a consumer in these experiences. As a marketer, like I said, I've already set the stage. I believe in it, especially since I'm a diagnosis person. I'm the person who diagnoses what's going on and helps small businesses. But as a marketer that grew up in paid search, I maybe don't like it as much. And so, really, the second piece here is that AI now owns the recommendation, and recommendations are what drive loyalty for brands. And so, if you read the press release from Microsoft, which I will link at the bottom of this video, you will notice that Microsoft keeps saying something. And what they keep saying, and I don't know, maybe they didn't keep saying it, but it stuck out to me. How about that? They said, you remain the merchant of record. Now, think about it. When these posts go out, especially announcements like this, you have PR teams, you have product teams, you have a lot of people involved to write these. And when there are statements, those aren't statements that are made by accident. Those aren't statements that are just put there without strategy and thought behind it with the customer. I mean, I think sometimes we look at these things and we're like, oh my gosh, they said that. I think that statement matters. It matters as much as in Google Marketing Live when Google said, we love agencies, which they've never said before. I translate that into like, it is opposite day, right? Like, it is opposite day. Or we know that this will scare people enough that we need to clarify, right? So I think it's important, again, not just because I consider myself to be a behavioral analyst of the platforms, but I think it is important for us to look at what is being left out of a lot of these conversations and what is purposely left in. And when Microsoft is saying you remain the merchant of record, they are acknowledging outright, they're saying it. We feel the need to clarify this statement because we're collapsing the merchant of record. We're having a one-on-one conversation and discussion with a user and then allowing them to make that transaction right there within AI. You are not being seen. You are being talked about, and you are having things happen on Microsoft's platform. So let that kind of soak in and marinate for a little bit as to why that statement was there and why it backs up what I'm saying in this video about this sort of decision making and this funnel collapsing on you. And so for me, when I look at protecting businesses and diagnosing and helping businesses navigate this, what I see in this is that most brands are just not prepared. Most brands, they can't be read by AI. And I think that that's the part a lot of people aren't seeing in this. Because here's the thing with AI, and I know this because I've been working so much on SEOing my own website. AI doesn't reward the best product. AI doesn't reward the prettiest brand. AI doesn't reward the most heartfelt founder story. AI rewards clarity, structure, diagnosable value, clean product data, clean feeds, and a point of view that can be summarized without losing the meaning behind it. So if you're a customer and you're looking for something, you're going to get what the AI can read the best. If you are a brand and your differentiation collapses in one sentence, you're cooked. And here's the thing, brand agents are not going to save you if your brand is confusing. A brand agent is basically like a digital store assistant. And I know that that's really uncomfortable. If your brand doesn't know how to speak, the agent can't hear you. They can't understand you. If your catalog is chaotic, if your service offerings are chaotic, if your messaging is vague, if the value that you're offering is in any way, shape, or form fuzzy, all of it's going to happen is the agent or the AI, the chatbot, Microsoft's Copilot, it's just going to amplify that at scale, or you just won't be seen and considered in any way, shape, or form. So AI, it's not fixing a brand problem. It's really exposing what's wrong with brands. So we need to stop pretending like the funnel isn't gone, that it's still here, that any semblance of what we thought of marketing is viable in 2026. And again, I'm not saying that to fearmonger. I hate fearmongering. But I'm saying it because we talked about before a funnel, and then it came the journey. And then came not necessarily a path and not necessarily a funnel, but something that started on TikTok and moved to Instagram and came to Google and was all over the place that AI was leaning into. And now it's not that at all. It's a moment. It's a moment in time. It takes that right place, right time, right product energy even further than what it was. And it amplifies that times 1,000. And the brands that are going to win in 2026 and beyond, they're the brands that show up clearly, differentiate as cleanly as humanly possible. They signal their value in a way that AI can really interpret and understand. And they really architect their presence upstream. If this doesn't happen, every other brand and every other service is going to be optimized out of the conversation. So the takeaway that I want from this video is for you as the business owner to know that AI is not the disruptor. What really is the disruptor is how the platforms are manifesting and how they're behaving. When you think about AI, it's really just an interface. It's just sort of what we see, kind of like a mirror. But the platforms are the ones that are moving upstream. The decision is happening earlier. The middle of the funnel, it's gone. It's disappearing. I guess it's not totally gone because not all platforms have gotten rid of things completely. And this probably isn't going to be the only option, but it is really, really in what we would call the premium spots. There isn't a funnel. And the brands and the services that survive, they're going to be legible, they're going to be differentiated, and they're going to be really, really diagnosable in this AI world. And if you, as a business, don't intentionally and deliberately design your signals, the platform's going to end up doing it for you. And I think that that is the biggest reality that a lot of people haven't seen yet, or they haven't seen it and recognized it. I think that's also a factor because it's hard to recognize when you see something going wrong. And I gave an analogy that I think was just so perfect in the video that I published yesterday, which was if you put bad fuel, aka bad signals, into a car and you don't know that that's bad, right? You don't know that your signals are bad. You're just doing what you were taught all along or following tactics that were taught that just don't work today. Then you're going to be fixing things that are breaking over and over and over and putting those patches in, but not knowing that the signal was wrong, that the bad fuel was wrong. So I don't want to end on a sad note. I think that this is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really, really excited about where the future is going. I think AI has been absolutely transformational in my business and for me. And I want it to be that way for you too. So I hope you liked this video today. I hope that you read the full announcement on Microsoft and that if you have questions that you come to me or you just go in the comments and we sort of hash it out. And I hope you enjoy this video. If you are a thumbnail designer, peace out because this will probably get like 2 views, but I do not care because I think this video will reach the people that need to hear it. Anyway, happy marketing. I hope that we are all as excited as I am about the AI future that we're heading towards. And have a good weekend. Bye.